What's up, guys? Mr. J here again. So, on today's episode, I'm going to be walking us through a step-by-step process of how I was able to catch this incredible move on Volatility 25. So, this trade was also sent out to the free Telegram community, and my exact entries were also sent out to the October Signal Group subscribers. Yes. All right, so I'll walk us through the process of how I was able to catch this incredible bearish dump from Volatility 25 index, right? So that being said, let me just quickly remove everything that I have here on my chart so we could start the analysis. All right, so I'm gonna remove drawings. Yeah, so I have a plain chart now. So let me just try and make this as quick as possible. What I used to catch this move is simply the sweep, the break, and I waited for price to come back to my POIS. But first of all, I had to understand what the market was doing. Was it buying? Was it selling? As you all know, the trend is your friend. The trend is your friend. So I looked for structures like this, but I made sure that we're already in a particular trend. So in this particular scenario, we're in a bearish trend. So I waited for my structure or setup to show. I look for my setup, in line with the trend, in line with the market direction, and I just entered. So I looked for something like this. I want to say a high, then that high is swept, and then I want to see a change or a break structure. Maybe we could see an inducement, a bit of inducement, and then another break, and then I want to see markets will come back. So take out this liquidity over here, and then tap into the POI, and then I'm going to sell, right? So basically, this is the typical structure that's out there, and this is what I trade, but I use it in line with, of course, the structure, in line with the market direction. Because if you're trading against the market direction, no matter how perfect your strategy is or your entry model is, going to fail because you're going against the trend. Yes. All right. So that being said, let me just go to daily. So what I did first was to map out some violated lows. So what I saw here, I saw this low here was violated. So you can see market broke this low over here. Yeah, market broke this low over here. Although from this zone, as you can see, we have been buying from here. This is a daily time frame. So each of these candles is literally 1D. Yeah. So from here, we've been buying and the market has been going up. And then we got to this zone and then it started to form lower lows instead of lower highs, right? So let me just try to make this video not to be long. So as you can see, we started violating the lows here. Instead of creating higher highs, we started creating lower lows here. So let me just outline from this zone the breaks, the changes, right? So yes, and then I now had this low over here, right? So this low was the last low that was formed, broke the high, right? So this low had this low over here, and then of course I had this high over here. So yeah, so this low over here was the last low, that formed a new high, right? And then that low was taken out, and then this low here has been finally taken out here. This structure, this wave now breaks this low, right? So this means that we are changing character from bullish to bearish gradually, right? So what I did was I went to the lower time frame. Already we have been able to know that, okay, we are shifting from buying to selling. If you go down to a lower time frame, this is 8-hour time frame. As you can see, all these are just structural breaks to the downside. This is telling us that, okay, the buyers are weakening, the sellers are entering the market because now we are no longer seeing a series of higher highs. We're now seeing series of lower lows, right? So that being said, when the market got to this level and broke below this my zone here, what I was looking for was my structure, right? Now, of course, if you're familiar with break and retest and breaker blocks, you realize that this level over here, this zone over here, can serve as a breaker block entry level, right? Market will definitely come back to mitigate this level and then continue selling, right? So if you look closely, you see that market came back to mitigate this level and then it kept on selling, right? So what I was looking for was my structure to enter this market to continue selling. I was looking for scenarios to just enter the market and then what continue selling. So I went down to lower time frames to 1 hour time frame. Yeah. Went down to 1 hour time frame to get my entry. Yeah. So this here becomes, I think it's so yeah, it should be okay. So this here now becomes what my liquidity. It was taking out my purge of liquidity. So we had some liquidity resting above there, was taking out some, let's say, purge of liquidity. Right, so this right here was our low. So the low, right? So the low. Yeah. Then the market forms a new low over here. Now, this level here becomes what? My liquidity, right? Liquidity that should be what? Taking out, right? My liquidity, you can call it structural liquidity, internal liquidity, all means the same thing, or inducement. Let's just call it for this particular video inducement. Yeah, inducement, yeah. Right, that's my inducement. And then yes, and then here becomes what my POI. This level becomes what my POI. So what I did was that I was waiting for the market to come back and take out what my inducements before I sold. Yeah. So like I said, I sent this trade before it even happened to the what's it called, to the Telegram community. You can click on the link in the description to join our Telegram community, and also send this trade also to my October Signal subscribers. So what happened was that when the market finally came back to my PUI, it took out the liquidity, of course, as predicted, and then it's been selling since then. Okay, although we have taken first, second, and our third TPs from this particular trade. Yeah, so simple. You know, I always keep it simple. I don't like to complicate things. That was how I was able to make to cash this incredible move. Yeah. So I hope this video helped you. I hope you learned something from this video. Yeah. And I'll probably see you in the next one.